Hello, John. How you doing tonight? Well, that's good. Hell, I'm doing good too right now. Oh, I'm doing good, doing all right. I don't know if you was in there the other day when I was telling them I bought a bow, a recurve low pound, and just to start working the muscles up high. Yesterday I could just barely pull that thing. Today I went out there and shot it about, I don't know, 15 times I guess, and it's just getting easier all the time. So looks like them muscles are going to come back. One good thing about shooting that bow is work your upper body and then you walk into the target and back. So it's good, good stuff. Wow, be a busy man. Hey DJ, how you doing, buddy? Hello, Shoe Devil. Okay, it's gonna be a long day, huh? Dang. Yeah, some days are like that. Yeah, they are, she devil. I ate a big salad a while ago and now I'm getting sleepy. I think I must be part Mexican. I eat and I want to take a siesta. John, do you have a facility or do you do it online or tell us a little bit about what you do? Oh, that's a neat time. It really is. New life. I'll tell you what, I think that's neat, but I'd hate to go back to that. Yeah, I understand that. Or maybe what I'm asking is people got to travel to you, John, or and you do this digitally. And I talked to him about it the other day. He's waiting on a bunch of tests to come back. I'll talk to him some more then and get a hold of you. Darn, got a frog in my throat. DJ, how many videos you trying to put out a week? Georgian, what you doing, darling? Moon, good evening, sir. Are y'all doing all right tonight? Yeah, I'm doing good. I was telling him I just got through eating and now I'm sleepy. And I'll wake up here in a few minutes. Well, do you want me to jump up and down where you watch the show or what? Oh, I tell you what, this damn Rocky has got to be an air conditioning dog now. Okay, I'll get back to you then. When this computer messed up, I lost my damn emails, and I've been trying to get back into them and having hell trying to do it. Right now, it's good, Georgianne. Boy, I tell you what, they're goofy on this deal. Now, there's several people in here, and they were showing one person, showing two now. So you at work, Moon, or don't you don't start that till tomorrow? Here comes Mr. Lance, the outlaw, gray-headed outlaw. Get home tonight, okay? What they call Willie Nelson, the red-headed stranger. I guess Lance is a silver-haired stranger. Next thing we know, Lance will be holding up stagecoaches. What part of the country you in, Lance? Ontario. You back home then, aren't you? Till November 1st. All right. You like it down there in Florida, don't you? Well, was Boomer glad to see you when you got back? I bet he was. Oh. Well, is your ex-wife keeping Boomer for you? Well, that's good. At least you ain't talked Boomer to bite you or nothing yet. Rocky just getting over his mad. I left him by himself all day yesterday, and he sulked up. He didn't want nothing to do with me. He was mad at me. Yeah, them ex-wives are sort of funny about that way, aren't they? How many miles you got on your buggy now, Boo? Boo. Lance? Well, am I still here? Thing got quiet. Not in the last 2 days, I haven't, I don't think. He was getting ready to go on a camping trip. He may be on the road right now. I'm not sure. Sunfish come in, he'll know. I think he was on Sunfish's channel last night. Yeah, I think he's getting around pretty good because he's been off that poison for about 5 or 6 weeks now. I'm trying to think where he said he was going. Maybe it's Rhode Island or someplace up in there. Said that was the 50th state. He'd be in all of them if he made that one. Yeah, I hope he is. He's a good guy. I know he's sick and tired of having to drive the mail every month. Yo, Dan, where you been up to? Hey, there's Sunfish there. You talked to Cookie in the last couple of days, Sunfish? Okay, he doing all right then. Hello, Mike. Mm, Oh yeah, it's gonna take him a while. Anybody wants to come up or grab that link and come on. Georgianne, you ain't never been up on here yet. Why don't you come on up? She Devil, Lance, Sunfish. How you feeling, Mike? Well, I ain't gonna bug you, Mike, about coming up. You know you're welcome. They, when you get to the point you feel like coming up, well, let me know. You're welcome. Well, I did pretty good, Sunfish. I shot that bow about 15 times a day, and my shoulder didn't pop so bad that it put me on my knees, so it's working. Surprised the heck out of me. I was shooting about 20 yards and holding damn 1 inch group. I guess I haven't forgot all of it I used to know about shooting. Yeah, it feels good to play with that thing again. Pueblo, Colorado. Hell, I used to fall off a bicycle though, Sunfish. You're off to the quail. You didn't get any of them drowned last night, did you? I think our weather's supposed to. I looked on the radar a while ago and there wasn't nothing on it, but that don't mean anything. I'm tired of these damn storms. I'm ready for it to straighten up. Look on his radar and see what it's showing. If it's showing anything. Well, come on up. It looked like Georgia and Sunfish is about 60 miles, 60, 70 miles north of me. But it doesn't show anything on the radar at all. So hopefully we're going to have a good night. Down around Houston, they're showing some stuff, but not up here. It actually went all day long and hadn't rained. I can't believe it. That'd be a hot 90 in one of Georgia. Humidity will be high. It's really been a pretty nice day here. Now, well, yesterday morning it was cold. And it didn't get real hot till late in the afternoon. I think that's what's happening to us on these storms. It's so wet that starts evaporating and it goes up and then it makes rain and it falls again. I looked on the humidity here the other day, it was like 78%. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I saw where Evening Shades is her birthday today. She's trying to make 500 subs. So if any of y'all ain't subbed to Evening Shades, well, go do it to it. Got time. Damn, 90s is hot. Pueblo. I got up there hunting one time, Mike, and that was in September, and it was 70, 75 degrees, pretty day. All of a sudden, I hear a rumbling, and it sounded like a damn tornado, and it was raining, and it come a rainstorm that you couldn't see 5 foot in front of your face, and then it went to hailing, and got about, I don't know, hail for a little bit, and then started snowing, and then went to really hailing. We were in tent, and it dropped down to 26 degrees, about 6 inches of hail on the ground. And 2 hours later, we're back up in the 70s again. So you don't ever know in that high country. That's one thing I used to carry up there when I was hunting. I carried 2 or 3 big garbage bags with me all the time. Because you could make a poncho out of it, or you could make a tube tent, or you could split one and use it for a tarp. It saved my butt a couple times up there. Yeah, it could be. I got some friends of mine, or a friend of mine, that moved to Colorado, and he had to move back to. He was from California. He had to move back to California. The weather and low oxygen content and all that mess got to him. Nosebleeds. He could just think about sneezing and get a nosebleed. He finally had to move back to California. My brother-in-law got that crud, and he can't get rid of it either. Yeah. Yeah, you got a place right there close to you. You can find out right quick. You can go to Raton Pass and get just about as high as you want. It's pretty up on Raton Pass. Did you cross it going in there? I'll tell you something we got to carry in the last few years I hunted up there. And they've got these deals, these spray cans, and they're oxygen. But if you get a jam, it wouldn't probably hurt you to pick one of them up and carry it with you. Yeah, that's the pass coming from New Mexico. Rotan. It gets on up there pretty good. It just about straddles the border between New Mexico and Colorado. A little of the snow up on top of that mountain any day of the week. Yeah. We rode motorcycles up to the top of Pikes Peak, and they won't let you do it anymore on a motorcycle. I don't think. It's funny that side of the Rockies is rock that it's rocky. That's and then just drop out of there to the east of Pueblo, and that's high desert. You go west, you'll go to get into some pretty country. Yeah, they had pullouts on it. There's some vehicles they won't let up there. That was the one thing I liked about that old Dodge Dually I had. It had a 6-speed in it. A couple of hello Diane. There was a couple times that saved my butt because I could work them gears and stay off the brakes. Oh, hello, Lily G. Just when it gets hot like this is the only time I wish I had a swimming pool or or a jacuzzi. I don't give a damn about the hot tub part of it. I don't know if they do or not. Yeah, I guarantee if you let somebody else drive, it'd be worth the money. I'll tell you another thing you might want to look at. Hello, fairy dust. The I can't think of it. Out of Chama, New Mexico, right there on the Colorado border, they've got that old train that runs up and back down, and that's a pretty neat trip. You won't be running any foot races. I've never been but one place. I'm trying to think the name of that pass. Damn, I had it for a minute. It's on 50 anyway, and it's like 12,000 feet or something like that. I got up there and I ran out of air. Combine pass. I started walking toward the little store on the summit, and I got back in my truck and headed for the lower country. I would laugh my butt off if they do convict him and he went ahead and ran for president. He run for president, it to make a difference. And he just getting president and as president and pardon himself. Boy, it's tough. That's when we got to carrying them little cans of oxygen because you could just take a shot of it and all of a sudden just instantly you'd feel better. I wonder if you could pardon yourself. Yeah, get you a couple of those. Hey, man.
How you doing, Ron? Hello?
And I'm glad you're feeling better.
Can you hear me all right?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. You froze
Okay.
up for just a minute.
All right. So, yeah, God, yeah, it's been rather interesting going through this cold and whatnot. And yeah, I'm just glad I'm on the getting better part now. Hello, everyone. Uh, so I
I
definitely
tell
have.
you,
What's that?
I tell you what. There's after we got to using that canned oxygen, my buddies that hunted with me up there, all of them keep a can of that stuff in their truck all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't know how I'm going to do. Um, so probably a little bit at a time, and um, but definitely I've noticed the even here in Pueblo, it's been interesting since I've had the cold and trying to catch my breath and whatnot. So I time will tell. Like I said,
Yeah,
not this weekend, but next weekend, we're taking a trip west from here, over into the San Luis Valley, I believe.
yeah.
I know that's higher elevation than here, so I'll see how I do over there. And
Well, St. Louis Valley is not real high, so you ought to be all right there.
okay, because I know a couple of the places I want to get to, the UFO Watchtower, um, and there's a few other places over there I want to get to. So there's
Yeah,
a actually
you might.
over on that side closer to I think it's the Great Sand Dunes National Park. There's a wolf refuge that I want to get out to and go check out. So
You ought to go to Four Corners while you're up there and stand in four states at one time. That's a pretty neat place.
yeah, I think later in the summertime, well, I'm going to be heading that way. Um, and I know in September, I want to try to meet up with Larry from Plump Travelers because they're going to be in New Mexico. Um, and we may try to meet somewhere over that way, near Four Corners. So,
Well,
um,
you gotta pay to get into Four Corners because it's on Indian land.
okay, good to know. So, but
There, there's some pretty country, but when you go through that St. Louis Valley, it's depending on what time you go through. That's all
yeah,
big farming deal. And you'll hit an area that'll be like you can smell it before you ever get there. I don't particularly like onions, and there'll be dump truck loads of onions that they're going in there with just a front end loader. They plow them
oh,
up.
geez, good to know.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Several weeks back, we did a trip over towards over in that area, one of the valleys over there. Oh, where was it? By West Cliff in that area. Um, and but and that was beautiful over there.
Oh, Colorado got some pretty places.
So
They
and then
usually when it
what's
gets
that?
100 degrees down here, when it gets 100 degrees or 102, 103 here in Texas, I do my best to be able to load up and head to Colorado and get up in the mountains for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah, and I know that's part of the reason why we changed it from meeting up in July to probably early October because uh, the heat. Yeah, I'd be staying in the air conditioner all day. So
Where, where you're talking about meeting in October.
same place, the Lake Tacoma, right over the border of Oklahoma.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called East Burns. Uh, Did we
I tell
lose
you
me?
what, yeah,
Okay.
well, I can hear you now.
All right.
I thought you were talking about a meetup in a Colorado, and I was fixing to say in October you may have snow
Yeah.
butt
No.
deep.
Nope. 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 Yep. Just north of what is it? Denison.
Yeah,
That's up by the border, right? Yeah. So, um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. So,
I tell you what's funny. I used to go up there and go hunting and stay 10 days up in it, and we've been in high country. We'd camp about 9,000 foot, and
yeah.
you run up down them mountains chasing them mule deer and elk for 2 weeks. Walking in that thin air, and you come back down to the low country, and hell, it'd make you feel like you were drunk. Too
Yeah.
damn much. I like to.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll definitely. It'll definitely be interesting to see how I do um, with the change in elevations and whatnot. And as far as um, Bernay, it was got windy a little earlier. Started to rain. We had a thunderstorm roll through. Lily, no, I am actually staying with Troy S. And thankfully, because I don't think I would have been able to deal with being sick in just my trailer right now. So hopefully by
That's
next
one thing.
weekend I'll be. What's that?
It's a bad deal to get sick on the road.
Yeah, and and I don't want to get too personal here, but I'm glad I was had a place to stay because um, the amount of trips to the bathroom and whatnot. Yeah, no. So that would have been crazy to try to do just in my trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He can be.
Well, we all sort of fit that description.
Yep.
Just I answered to everything from asshole to you know.
Yeah. Hey, just don't call me late to dinner, right?
There you go.
So, uh, yeah, Troy S. Yeah, me too, Brene. Actually, starting to, I never lost a sense of smell, but because because we were thinking maybe COVID, but no, it wasn't COVID. I never lost my sense of smell, just taste, and I didn't want to really eat anything because everything just tasted so bland. So, but glad I'm starting to taste things now. And
Boy, you lose that sense of smell, and your what you like in food changes up.
yeah, so it definitely has been interesting. I will do, Lily.
When I lost my sense of smell about 2010, and not 100%, but close, probably 90%, and it
Yeah.
sure changed the way I ate. I wasn't into real spicy foods back then, and now I like, I
Hmm.
guess that's all I can taste. I think that's why I like Tex-Mex so much.
Ah, so, but yeah, I chomped down on a gummy earlier, and I'm just waiting for that to kick in to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, I've been
but I
trying to come up here just a little bit earlier than I had been,
okay.
and uh,
Yeah, I need to start getting back into doing some stuff. Probably by next weekend, I'll try to do a live whatnot. But depending on how signal is over there,
Well, you got a full summer ahead of you right there in Colorado.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be spending some time out here and western here and whatnot. Um, and like I said, in September, planning to um, meet up with Larry. Um, October, the Texas, and then probably by November, um, be heading more towards Arizona again. And uh, a lot of it's going to depend on my vehicle registration, if I can do it online or not. Um, and I know I can do it online, but the thing is whether I will, where I have my mail going to right now, whether they'll inform me, hey, you got a PIN number here to do your registration online. So, but by hopefully by next year, I will have everything changed over to Delaware, and I know they do I think it's a 2 year plate, so I won't have to go back as often. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, the smoking is not going to help your cough." I have cut back on smoking, so that's thankful. I had been, without it. I went several days without one, and every time I picked one up, it tasted like crap. But
Just force yourself to smoke it, huh?
yeah, yeah, it's like yeah. Um, I really don't drink. I don't do other heavy drugs or whatnot. I don't do heavy alcohol. This is really my one of two vices, So, but
It just depends on
uh,
what time of the day and what kind of vice I've got.
yep. Morning, it's I really even haven't done coffee lately. So, and that was a usual, at least a morning thing for me. But so, but anyways, I'm gonna pop back down and try to get some rest here in a short. So,
All right. Well, I appreciate you hopping up here, Mike. I'm glad you're feeling better.
yeah, me too. And I will try to in a few days. Hopefully, I'll be back to my norm and I'll pop up more. So, but
Well,
alrighty.
I've, I've been sort of thinking about dropping back to like 3 lives a week instead of
Yeah.
doing one every day. And every day will burn you out after a while.
Welcome back, Diane. Um, yeah, and that's the thing is, I just got burnt out, and I needed to just take a break from everything. So
Hey, well, you going to try to go the wintertime in Arizona?
yeah, I'll probably be sticking around, probably between Quartzsite and Lake Havasu. Um, you know, spending a little bit of time up in Lake Havasu and come down a little bit. It make that 90, what is it, 95, I think it is, that stretch. Um, I know there's a lot of places that you can just pull off and park and camp. So yeah.
And there's so many. I, I've got where I know so many people off these
Yep.
lives and off of going last year to Ironwood and then going to into California and down to Yuma. Uh,
Yep. Yeah.
the,
The real thing I'd like to try some year is going down into Mexico and being down there for a little while. So
I used to go to Mexico. We're right here in Texas, and it just a couple
yep.
hundred, 250 miles to the border. And I used to go down there all the time. But I ain't too sure about Mexico anymore.
Yeah, I know some areas have gotten really bad, and then some areas I've been watching a few channels of people that are down there, um, and they it's all about being aware of your surroundings. You know, it's like anywhere else. I've been doing this for God, well, since February of 2017. I've been on the road, and I've really not run into any issues any place I've been to. Um, but again, I'm aware of my surroundings. I did in 2018. I think it was 2018. I tried to stick as close to the Mexican border from Texas over to Arizona. Um, Anywhere I can get down by the border, I traveled, and I stayed overnight a few times in some rest areas and pull off on the side of the road down there, and never had an issue. Um, but people were like, "Oh, you don't want us being here and don't want to be here." I had no issues in those areas, but
I know a lot of people that have ranches and stuff down on that border, and talking to them is on the American side, you got to sort of watch what you're doing. On the Mexican side, it can be just nice and calm, and then all of a sudden blow all the hell. I know a bunch of them used to go down to Cabo and down in there and spend a winter, and most of them have sold their places and moved back up. They're not staying down deep in Mexico anymore, and
gotcha.
that'll straighten out. And if you're with a group, that makes a difference too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to try to get with is a group of people that go down every year. Um, I know there's a few groups on Facebook that I'm part of that do plan trips down, and a few other groups on some other sites that I'm with, and um, but we'll see how it goes.
I don't think I'd be comfortable going down deep in Mexico like we used to do by myself.
Right?
I, they,
Yeah.
I've rode motorcycles to Monterey and from Texas, and then uh, Mexico City from Texas. We used to go down there all the time. And back when my
Yeah.
rodeo went east, I used to go to Laredo and pick saddles and bridles and stuff like that up 2 or 3 times a year. And it, you
Gotcha.
know, but it's a different
So
ball game then. The kind of people coming across the border then are not like they are now. I mean, it's not the same type of people.
yeah, and I guess it also depends on where you cross in Mexico as well. I know some areas are better than others, but um,
You
I
know, talk.
actually, along with being down there, in 2018, that was the first year I went to like Brownsville area, um, and went down to the Boca Chica Beach down there and stayed overnight a few nights down there, um, and that's when I had my Honda Civic still, but uh,
There's some beautiful places down there.
yep, but
I had a good friend of mine that came into a lot of money when he was 18, 19 years old. And I don't know how it is now, but used to, if you went into Mexico, you couldn't own land within it was either 75 miles or 150 miles of the border. They didn't let any foreigners own land up close to the border. and he bought a 10,000-acre ranch that was on the other side of Mexico City. You had to fly into it. I used to go down there all the time, and the really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was, 'cause them people down there, they didn't know what ice was. He got an ice maker for his house up there. We gave him some ice cream one day, and it spit it out because something cold and something hot, it's the same for just a second, and they'd think it burnt their mouths. They'd spit it out. You know,
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
seen
And
TV, never heard the radio. I mean, these people had lived right there on that ranch for generations, and that was quite interesting.
hmm. Um, and yeah, and Brunei, as far as yeah, that's one of the areas I want to check out is Baja and Big Sur and a few other places on that area. But um, who knows? Next year, maybe this year, I don't know.
And that's
But I
part of
do
what.
know. Hopefully, I'm not having to go back to the East Coast this year. So
What kind of gas mileage you get with your buggy now, pulling a trailer?
I get around just about 14 miles to the gallon without towing, and with towing anywhere between 10 and 12.
That's about the way
So
my van is.
I love. Don't get me wrong. I love the Nissan Armada. I love it, but I do not like the gas mileage. Yeah, to do it again, I probably would have gone with a bit smaller of a vehicle with a better smaller, little smaller of an engine and but better gas mileage.
what What are you talking about, Diane?
Oh, the concert that Lily's going to, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, Lily, you and Sandra enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, I
See,
got my
I
fill of California hauling them RVs in there, and
yeah, I've been a few times just into California, and it's a nice place to visit on and off. A few places, but I wouldn't want to live there. Sorry, Brene.
yeah, I traveled all over the country and a lot of countries out of U.S. and it's still when I get back to Texas, I'm home.
Right.
Just a different feel.
See, I used to feel that way about New Hampshire, but I've gotten older and I don't do well with the cold and you know um, a lot of snow and bitter cold temperatures. No, no. Um, I guess being out of that area and more southern areas for basically 9 months out of the year, it's gotten to where I just don't deal with anything. I try not to deal with anything below 70 degrees, but I can tolerate 60s, 50s. I'm barricaded in my trailer with the heat on, so
Like, if it don't just get cold and stay cold, it's not bad. A day of that, or you know, that don't bother you too bad. But boy, when it's cold and nasty and stays that way, uh, that's when it starts getting to me. It's like
Yeah.
right now we've had all these storms and all these rains and stuff, and where you for a couple of weeks you never saw the sun,
Yeah.
and now that works on me, and I've got to see some sunshine once in a while. I couldn't live in Oregon or Washington or Alaska.
Oh, heck no. um, yeah, I mean, Oregon is beautiful, the coastal area especially, but um, I just, yeah, um, it's a nice place to visit, but wouldn't want to live there. Um,
I
I
got
think,
tickled.
what's that?
I got tickled at Bree, her videos yesterday of that moss. This damn ground here in Texas has been wet so long in the shade. We're getting moss on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
uh, and yeah, I've been looking at different areas, either just to get a little piece of land and whatnot. But I think ultimately, if I had to settle down somewhere, I would be either southwestern North Carolina or right around the that. Um, I'm not from. I don't know if you know different areas, but south of Asheville. I've got a friend that had a place there about half an hour south, and he was from New Hampshire, moved down there years ago, and he's been telling me then it's like they get snow, they get winter and summer and spring and what, but they don't get the bitter cold temperatures like New Hampshire did, and the amount of snow they get usually goes away in a few days. Um, I know there's different, um, terms tend to be like off odd years that you can get. It's like you guys in Texas, that you guys got slammed with the snow and the freezing temperatures.
Yeah, and used to we get a snow in like an inch about every 5 years. That was
Yeah.
about normal, you know.
Well.
And you'd
Yeah.
get freezing temperature 2 or 3 times during the winter, and that'd just be overnight.
Yep. Yep.
And
Um, so and I know every area has its ups and downs like that, but for the most part, I really think that's the area. If I had to settle down, I would try to find, because I can deal with some snow, some colder temperatures, but usually it doesn't get really majorly hot, doesn't usually get bitterly cold. So we'll see. I
yeah,
hopefully I can still keep doing this for the next few years at least, but
yeah, and well, that's the way I hope. I hope I'm on a dead run when I fall over.
yeah. So
But
alrighty, well I'm gonna hop off this panel, and I'll still be in chat for a few, but I'm starting to feel it. So
well, I'm gonna stay on about 10 more minutes. Oh, excuse me, got the hiccups. And that'll be an hour and a half, so that's enough.
all right. Well, I will catch you in chat, and have a good night.
You be good, Mike. Appreciate you coming up. Glad you're feeling
Thank
better.
you. Yep. Thanks for having me.
Oh, me. Boy, I know several people just like Mike that just got that crud and can't get over it. I think I'm fixing to shut this thing down. We've been on here about an hour and a half already. And But we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna get off here too. Y'all have a great night. I appreciate everybody that came in.